Hello, Ali. How are you?
Good, you?
Excellent.
Good to see you again. Sound and safe.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for some people to join here.
Okay, we've got 5 minutes to go. Can you hear me well, Nick?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, good. Do you find the screen, the background screen, better than yesterday?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I'm learning fast. No distractions for students. That's the rule.
How do we set up the chat here?
The chat, there's a chat
Oh, there's the
icon
chat.
at the bottom. Well,
It's Alt
it says, no, the bottom banner.
Okay.
Bottom right, I think.
Can you see that I'm sharing a screen?
Yes, I see you. I see Andrea and Ali. Hello, Andrea.
Hello, Andrea. You're muted.
I also see Maria, Claude, but without videos. And Meredith.
Andrea, tu dois être à l'aise de participer en français si tu veux.
Nick, do you want us to mute the mic or will you do it for us?
You muted yourself. That's great.
No, I didn't.
Oh, Nicholas did.
Yes, I muted myself. Okay, I'm going to try to run all these things. As will probably become very quickly apparent, I'm willing to talk, but I'm not an expert on any of this. But I think through collaboration, we'll get there.
Okay. Just one thing, Nick, while it crosses my mind, will you be recording the meeting? Because that's something I might bring up tomorrow for our meeting.
Yeah, I want to record it.
Okay, because is that okay? Would everybody be okay with that?
I think everybody's expecting that.
Not necessarily. I guess you might have to ask for permission from people.
Okay.
It seems that's what the Zoom people recommend.
Yeah, it makes sense. Now look, if I change my screen, if I tab to a different screen, are you still on the PowerPoint slide? That's what I want to know.
Yes.
So even if I switch to my browser, can you see my browser?
No.
No.
Well, that's very interesting. So I'm able to select which view I want you to see, and then I'm able to work in the background on other things, which is, I think, very handy.
On the top left-hand side, I see red light clicking.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
You're already recording, Nicola.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, so let's stop the share.
Good.
Oh, yes, it's recording. Okay,
so I can see you now.
Good. Hello, everybody.
Without glasses. Go and get your glasses.
Hello. Now, perhaps you can all see.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. I've added a link to the share panel, to the chat panel here. I don't know if you can see the chat.
Yep.
Link, we can try that. Frank, can you see the chat? Do you know how to do it? It's Alt-H.
No, I'm looking at participants. Some of them have
Some people don't have mics, so Denise
don't
doesn't
have their video turned on.
That's okay. It's
okay. The chat.
Hello.
Oh, Helen. Hello, Helen.
There might be a bit of an echo because we're in the same room.
Should I leave?
Nick.
Just maybe turn down your mic.
I can take my computer to another
Hi, Helen.
room. Hey, how are you?
Good. You?
All right. I think
Oh, I see. All right.
very soon now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, joining me today. Obviously, like you, I'm very concerned. Can I just ask you to...
The sound is not good.
It's my wife. She has her laptop and microphone.
Okay.
Obviously, like you, I'm very concerned about switching everything online. Now, lucky for me, I've been doing some blended teaching, so I feel somewhat less in a panic than others might feel. So I thought we could put together a series of talks. It doesn't have to be hosted by me. I'm willing to do it. But just so that we can support each other and get thinking about the challenges that are ahead. So let me start by saying, let's just click on the link in the chat. If you click Alt-H, you'll get the chat bar.
Can I suggest something, Nick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because you just sent a link. Maybe you might be better off if you just shared it on the whiteboard or open it on your screen and share your screen.
Yeah, but this is the point. The link, as you will see, will produce, will actually send you to a Google Doc. And so it's a bit of an experiment on my part here. What I'm hoping to do is to encourage people to start writing on this Google Doc. We can all collaborate together, partly to get some ideas, but also to demonstrate one of the ways that I think we can collaborate as with our classmates on shared projects, on shared corrections, on a series of collaborative online activities. And this is one of them. So I see somebody, an anonymous chipmunk is typing how to make the transition to online teaching as easy as possible. Right. We're going to try and get to everybody's concerns today. Now,
May I ask a question? Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear.
Hi, Nick. It's Joy. I just joined because I had a problem getting everything set up. Where is the link? You said you sent a link. Where is that?
It's in the chat at the top of the chat thread. If you press Alt-H, it'll
Control
open.
H, maybe?
Alt-H. I'm not sure what it is on a Mac. Alt-H will open the chat. Is there a way?
I've got the chat open, but I see that someone has, like Helen Hefter has said hello from Mama.
Can you scroll to the top?
That's the document.
If you, I can do it again.
Work the same way on an iPad. As soon as my laptop.
Okay, here we go. Now it's appeared.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's me just adding it a second time. It's the same link.
Okay, thanks, Nick.
What do you guys think of my background?
Oh, beautiful.
Inspiring?
Yeah.
Promotional.
Promotional for our college? No, actually, it's a bit of privacy on my part, because in the background you see the clutter of my office, which I've replaced with this image. And so maybe this is one of the strategies we want to consider as teachers, and that is to make our online, let's say, Zoom meetings as professional as possible by concealing the heaps of laundry behind us and the children, fist fighting on the couch.
Well, if it's green laundry, you can just hang it.
Sorry, so let's, I'm going to share my screen here. Let's see if I can. Share. And I've prepared a couple of slides. I'd like to try with everyone, just to get the conversation going. And so, the title is Transitioning to Distributed Learning. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I made this little keep calm and carry on meme. And I showed it to my son, who's 8, and he told me it's a dead meme. It no longer has any impact or any humor value, and I should avoid using dead memes. Now I know.
Joanna there with her pad of paper. Oh, that David.
All right, so I gave you a link, and I'm asking people to write their concerns. Perhaps we can collect it and share it at the end. And what I'm proposing is that we're all in the same boat. We should attempt to share solutions, collaborate, and encourage each other to really rescue the CEGEP system from the same kind of collapse
Is that in my camera?
that the healthcare system is facing and the economy is facing. And if we abdicate our responsibility to help our society get through this pandemic, then I really think that we're abdicating our responsibility as professionals. We've got to try. And the best way to try is to collaborate with other intelligent professionals. And that means you.
I can hear you, Shirley.
Hi.
Okay, so I expect that one of the attitudes towards teaching online will be that just refusing, flat out refusing to play along, saying that it's impossible, we don't have the resources, we don't have the funds, we don't have the training. It's not going to happen. It's not possible considering our objectives call for interaction. And so forget it's out of the question and just let the semester die. Now, I think it's one reality.
That's not an option.
Well, it is an option. It is an option. We can just refuse to participate, but I don't think it is the best expression of our professionality. The other one, I think, which is a bit more realistic, and that is to say, our semester has been interrupted halfway through, and what we have to do is bring this airliner of 150 students to the ground as safely as possible and save as many of them as we can. Because some of them will have difficulties and will be unable to keep up and adapt, but most of them will be able to adapt, and if we make modifications, we'll be able to get them to the final competency in some minimal way.
Sorry, Nick.
Yeah.
Can you ask that everyone turn their microphones off because we can hear background noise? And then
let's see if I can do that.
You should be able to.
Disable participants, hide video, share computer, optimize share, invite, mute. I'm sure there's a way. Mute, chat, invite, pause recording, stop.
In settings, you have to go into settings.
Already?
Yeah, you have to go into settings, and you have a little turn on and off microphones for people.
So I'll stop the share. We'll go into, okay, here we go. Manage participants. Here we go. Mute all. Current and new participants will be muted. There you go. All right, done. Now, let's go back to mute all. Yes, all right. So now we're going to go back to share. I kind of liked having a bit of the background noise because then I know that you're all there. Anyway, I'm on my own now. All right. So the third option, I think, ultimately, is for the enthusiast to say, hey, this is great, this brand new challenge, a brand new toy for us all to play with. I think I'm somewhere between the landing the crashing airliner and look, I've got a brand new toy and a new challenge. So I don't know. We'll find out when we get to the end of the semester how it turns out to be. In some ways, this is an exciting time for us to learn and to help each other. Okay. I think the most obvious thing for us to do is to recreate what's familiar. And that is to take what we've been doing in person and shift it online. And that means in terms of attendance and engagement, we'll have a series of questions. How can I take attendance? How can I tell if my students are even listening? How long is the break? When do I put the break? How do I organize my time? Let's say if I'm using Zoom. Well, the good news is I'm discovering this software, Zoom, allows you to take attendance, allows you to see if students are focused on the lesson or if they have other tabs open and are doing other things. I wonder if scheduling a break is worthwhile, and perhaps there needs to be some thought around that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're going to be spending 3 hours with our students in a row. The next question is, how do we take the lessons that we were giving in person? Now, I use PowerPoints, other people use chalk, but how can we go from giving the instructions for the assignments, showing PowerPoint slides, engaging students in discussion activities, and having them do lab activities at a distance? And again, this is a challenge. I have some ideas, but we're all going to have to figure out for ourselves. Now, one interesting thing to consider is that when a new technology comes along, there's always a very clumsy initial stage. Like, for instance, when TV was first introduced, perhaps you've seen the old clips of old TV shows. It's very stiff. It's very wooden. People don't know how to move around. They don't know where to put the camera. It's always at a fixed distance. They ran it as a kind of stage play with one eye on the group. Also, for radio broadcast, they'd stand back from the mic and do a kind of public address where they'd shout at the microphone as if speaking to a large crowd. What they discovered, what I think TV producers and actors and radio attendants, radio announcers have discovered, is that in fact you have you can speak directly into your listener's ear, and in fact is a very intimate type of communication. So I think this is what we're going to discover as we shift online, is that we're going to start moving closer to the camera and try to be more personal with the people on the other end. All right. One question I'm hearing a lot is an immediate kind of crisis. Immediate crisis about what are we going to do about orals. One big concern seems to be, how can I make sure that students aren't reading? If I'm evaluating, let's say, a recording, how do I know they're not just reading from a page? Well, one thing is to embrace the notion of reading from a page in terms of task repetition to actually lead to the kind of creative automaticity that we're hoping to measure eventually. We'll see where that goes. I mean, we have to explore the technology and see what we can do. The next thing is that in terms of reading aloud, there is something called production effect that my colleague David introduced me to, and that is actually saying a word or mouthing a word or writing a word makes you 10% more likely to recall it at a later time, right? So you can imagine 10 repetitions ensures that you're likely to remember it forever. And thirdly, we can start using recordings to evaluate pronunciation. We give students a text and then record them, have them record themselves, and we can see, we can go through the text and see how well they've pronounced each of the words based on the lessons we provide. So how can we record these monologues and dialogues? I'm going to suggest 2 bits of software which seem to be working, and they are Vocaroo.com and Zoom, which we're using now. Let's have a look at Vocaroo. So I'm going to stop the share, and I'm going to switch to my browser. Here it is. Okay, some comments here. And I'll open up a new tab, and I'll type in vocaroo.com. Simple website. I've been using it for years. It used to be Flash, and now it's HTML5. You click on the red button. It starts recording immediately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You click on the red square. Stops. You can play it back. It starts recording immediately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You click. And then there's a button, Save and Share. And look what you get. You can either download it and then upload it to Omnivox or whatever course management system, or Moodle, or whatever you're using, or you can copy a link and send the link either through the chat module of Zoom, or through Moodle, Moodle assignment, or through email. There are lots of ways for students to record their voice for you to evaluate. Okay, the next thing perhaps is to look at Zoom. Now, I'm still learning about Zoom. This is all very, very new for me. But one thing about Zoom that I've learned is that there are settings. So once you, see if I can figure this out here. So once you sign in, and I'm using Google to sign me in. It's very simple and quick. I bought the $20 Pro account, $20 a month. And I figure $20 is not a lot. Perhaps I'll ask the college to pay me back. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a big deal. And what I want to show you is the settings menu. It's here. So under Zoom, you have settings. If you click on that, you have all the options. I won't go through all of them because it's a long list. But you can allow students to connect using telephone or computer audio. You can allow them to join before the host, which is something that you were all able to do. You can require a password, which I don't ask for. The password is embedded in the URL. Mute participants upon entry. I've got this off, thinking that this will just add some confusion to students not knowing how to turn on their microphone. There's a chat module that you can have on. You can make it private. You can auto-save it. You can transfer files to each other. You can send files through the chat module. You can set a co-host. You can set polls. We can get into that another time. And we can share screens, of course. There's so much. There's also, I'll see if I can find it, breakout rooms. Yeah, a breakout room. I'm going to turn that on. So I can't do it now, but we'll try it on another day. What that means is that you can put students into separate rooms for them to chat with each other, and then you can visit that room to see what they're up to. And I think you can record them during their conversations. And it seems there's a lot you can do that would allow us to transfer a lot of what we're doing now to the online version. All right. Let's see.
No.
All right. I won't go through all of it right now, but you get the idea. The other thing that we can do is we can ask students to record some presentations. Now, I've been using Screencast-O-Matic, which is free, or $15 a year. The free version is fine, and get students to, let's say, present a website related to their field of study, show us what it does and how it works, and explain a little bit about their field of study. It seems a valid task and totally worthwhile in this time where, communication will be at a distance. There's a free version, an open source version called OBS that a student recommended and a colleague recommended again today. You can try that. It's open source, and so there's no cost attached.
Hello?
Hello, somebody?
Hi. Yes. Nick?
Yes.
Hi, it's Helen. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
I just want to ask a question because your information is really great and detailed, but I know that a lot of people in my department are totally untech savvy, and we're discussing having just one platform for the whole department because our students also have a lot of anxiety about using technology, or they have problems connecting, etc. So maybe we could address that also as a group. I mean, I don't know about you, this is the first Zoom meeting I've ever done. So I don't know how my students are going to handle the anxiety of doing this as well.
Yeah, I'm sure anxiety is going to be a big deal. I think, sorry, my chair is rather noisy. I should fix that. I think one thing we should all consider, I'm going to get to Frank in a minute. One thing we should all consider is perhaps making use of the Moodle systems that are available. You can check with your college. I'm sure there's a Moodle there. Sometimes they could be a bit difficult, and sometimes they're not optimized for English. Now, one thing I would like to offer to everybody here and everybody in the CEGEP network is I have a Moodle server. It's on labodangles.com. I'm planning to open it up entirely for free to everybody to use, not as a marketing ploy, not as an attempt to sell anything. I'm not trying to do anything like that, but simply to give people an option that could work for them, and quite frankly has been optimized for second language learning. I've been using it for years now, and Frank is on there and has a lot of experience too. Now, perhaps Frank has something he wants to say.
Yeah, Helen, that was a great comment you made. For me, what's so important, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yes? For me, what's so important is the platform, because the platform brings together so many different tools. I mean, we have this plethora, this overabundance of tools. When we were at Rascals last time, Andy spoke about a number of tools, and there are always these places that suggest, and even today, Nick suggested tools. But what we want to do is have a central location where we can bring everything together for both you and your students. And for me, it's been Moodle over the years. Now, I understand, and I know Andrea Frings is online from CEGEP Saint Laurent, that Moodle has not always been robust in the language lab, because if you have 30 students online, and it gets a bit overloaded. So I would like to stress what Nick is offering as that platform, as a very robust, Nick's platform now is a very robust platform that is flexible, it's customizable, and it's useful for posting. Our immediate need, I was listening to the CEGEP, to the Saint Laurent teachers had a Zoom meeting the other day, and they said, where can I post, where can I do orals? Where can I post writing? So again, going back to Moodle as the central repository, where you could have students post their Vocaroo, is that it, Nick? The Vocaroo recordings, the Zoom recording, the screencast, and I've done that with students. They post their recordings on the Moodle website. They post their writings on the Moodle website. So and you can track them. You can track them on the Moodle site. So for me, it's a precious tool. And what you're offering, Nick, which is called CEGEP, what is it? It's CEGEP English Moodle. It's a generic website that I think will be of great service to teachers and will actually, you're going to, of course, bypass the Moodle in your college, but I think it will be a service to colleges, because already it's Nick has it there. It's a website that you can access immediately. You don't have to go to your DRT, the Direction des Ressources Techniques, and ask and go through all the bureaucratic tape, and very immediately get access to a website. So Nick, congratulations on actually making it available to teachers. Obviously, it takes a little bit of a learning curve to know how to use Moodle if you haven't done before, but it's really quite easy. You can upload documents, you can upload resources, and you can share it with students. So again, congratulations for this CEGEP English Moodle CEM. I recommend everyone at least get it as quickly as possible.
Well, thanks, Frank. Look, as I say, I'm not trying to sell anything. It's a website I've developed over the years. We have a lot of content. It's going to be 100% free. You can try it out. Go to labodangles.com and put in the username teacher and the password teacher, and it'll take you in there. You can start playing with it, and I can help you out. But that's not the focus today. Let's return to the other tools that we can use.